The White House today urged the quick release of an 85-year-old man from California named Merrill Newman. He's a Korean War vet taken off a plane in North Korea last month just as he was about to leave the country following a 10-day tour. The state-run media in North Korea released a video today apparently showing Newman apologizing for war crimes.
On this trip, I can understand that in U.S. and Western countries, there is misleading information and propaganda about DPRK.
Newman's statement is full of grammatical errors, which feeds the suspicion that somehow it was coerced. Newman does suffer from a heart condition. You hear the word reclusive a lot when somebody is describing North Korea. The regime doesn't let the rest of the world see what it doesn't want it to. But the tight controls have been loosening ever so slightly, starting just about 2 years ago when the Associated Press was allowed to open a bureau in the capital of Pyongyang. David Guttenfelder is the photographer assigned to the bureau. He spends up to 3 weeks at a time in North Korea.
You go to these mass spectacles, 100,000 people in a stadium, creating these huge mosaics of propaganda. If you look closely, it's children flipping cards, and they're peeking out from behind the boards. So rather than photograph the whole scene, you go in and you see sort of the ropes and pulleys behind what they want you to see.
He's been to 75 countries in his 18 years as a photojournalist, making more than 20 trips to North Korea alone in the last 13 years. To Guttenfelder, the steps North Korea is taking are halting and small, but unmistakable. Are you feeling that what you are allowed to do is different now than, say, a decade ago?
For me, it's certainly different than it was before. They are not putting their hand in front of my camera, but of course there are things that we can't see. I live there by the fact that photography can be interpreted in a number of ways. So I might take a picture that to them they hold up very proudly, and to us it reveals something totally different.
What is it like outside Pyongyang? We've heard about the grinding poverty in the countryside. Tell me what you see out there.
People live a very basic life. They farm by hand. You see groups of people gathered in rice fields by the hundreds with vans parked and speakers on top to play propaganda, to motivate people to work. There are checkpoints along every road, so they limit where people move and how people move around the country. You do see children who show clear signs of malnutrition and clear signs of a very hard life for people.
Is North Korea a place where the average person has found a way to scratch out some sense of joy amid all of this hopelessness?
I cannot imagine how difficult their life is, mainly because I don't think any of us can imagine living a life where we're under so much scrutiny and so much control. But that said, I think people find their way, and they find their way within their system to survive, to live, and even to be happy. Or you go to a department store and you see a man with his daughter lifting her up as she goes up the escalator, just like I would do with my own daughter, and you know that there's real life there.
While Guttenfelder is enjoying the longer leash that he's been given by the North Korean government, he does tell us he has no clear idea why the regime is giving it to him.